March 15, 1944, Göttingen, Germany. Generalleutnant Hans Werner shuffled through the intelligence reports, his weathered fingers dismissing each page with practiced contempt. "Look at this," Werner said, tossing the document onto the oak table. "The Americans replaced their heavy escort with a different heavy escort." Oberst Friedrich Kaufmann nodded, lighting a cigarette. "They trade one disadvantage for another. Their P-47s are too heavy, their P-51s too fragile." Major Klaus Dietrich, Chief of Tactical Intelligence, leaned forward with measured concern. "Generalleutnant, the P-51's range exceeds anything we've encountered. Production figures suggest substantial output." But Werner waved him off. "Range means nothing when our pilots shoot them down. At Schweinfurt, 14-1. At Regensburg, 12-1. At Stuttgart, 16-1. The mathematics were undeniable. German fighters had achieved air superiority through technical excellence and pilot skill. What Werner didn't know, what none of them could have known as they reviewed intelligence in that underground command post, was that the P-51 Mustang would destroy the Luftwaffe within 6 months. The numbers would become catastrophic, 20-1 American advantage. 11,000 P-51s produced in 1944 alone. 6,000 German pilots killed. The confidence in that Göttingen bunker would become history's most expensive miscalculation, measured in the complete destruction of German air supremacy. The confidence of experience. German fighter victories through early 1944 painted a picture of sustained superiority. At Schweinfurt, Luftwaffe fighters destroyed 60 American bombers while losing 14 aircraft, a ratio of 14-1. At Regensburg, 96 bombers fell against 8 German losses, 12-1. At Stuttgart, 48 bombers destroyed versus 3 German aircraft, 16-1. At Bremen, 32 bombers destroyed against 4 German losses, 8-1. At Hanover, 27 bombers destroyed against 2 German losses, 13-1. At Oschersleben, 41 bombers destroyed against 5 German losses, 8-1. At Kassel, 19 bombers destroyed against 1 German loss, 19-1. At Munich, 24 bombers destroyed against 3 German losses, 8-1. The statistics compiled by Major Dietrich's intelligence staff showed mathematical certainty. German fighter pilots achieved consistent kill ratios exceeding 10-1 across all major engagements through February 1944. The Werner documented every number. The mathematics were undeniable. The Bf-109G6 equipped most Jagdgeschwader units across the western and southern fronts. Maximum speed, 386 mph at 22,640 feet. Service ceiling, 38,550 feet. Range, 450 miles on internal fuel, 620 miles with drop tank. Armament, 130 Mk-108 cannon firing 650 rounds per minute with 60 rounds carried, 213 Mg-131 machine guns firing 900 rounds per minute with 300 rounds per gun. Rate of climb, 3,346 feet per minute at sea level. Empty weight, 5,893 pounds. Maximum takeoff weight, 7,496 pounds. Wing loading, 42.9 pounds per square foot. Power loading, 4.5 pounds per horsepower. Fuel capacity, 88 gallons internal, 66 gallons external. Maximum dive speed, 460 mph. Wing area, 174.4 square feet. Engine, Daimler-Benz DB605AM, producing 1,475 horsepower. These specifications represented 4 years of combat refinement based on Eastern and Western Front experience across 35,000 aircraft produced. The mathematics were precise. The FW-190A8 complemented the 109 in most Gruppen, providing heavy firepower. Maximum speed, 408 mph at 20,670 feet. Service ceiling, 37,400 feet. Range, 560 miles on internal fuel, 740 miles with drop tank. Armament, 220 Mg-151 cannon firing 750 rounds per minute with 250 rounds per gun, 213 Mg-131 machine guns firing 900 rounds per minute with 475 rounds per gun. Rate of climb, 2,350 feet per minute at sea level. Empty weight, 7,055 pounds. Maximum takeoff weight, 10,800 pounds. Wing loading, 48.9 pounds per square foot. Power loading, 5.1 pounds per horsepower. Fuel capacity, 115 gallons internal, 66 gallons external. Maximum dive speed, 435 mph. Wing area, 196.98 square feet. Engine, BMW 801D2 producing 1,700 horsepower. German pilots praised the FW-190's roll rate at 162 degrees per second, heavy armament delivering 5.5 pounds of projectiles per second, and structural strength, withstanding 13G loads. Kurt tanks design dominated Western Front combat through superior tactics and pilot experience. The mathematics favored German equipment. Recent American Escort failures reinforced German confidence systematically. P-47 Thunderbolts, introduced in April 1943, possessed insufficient range for deep penetration missions beyond the Ruhr. Combat radius, 425 miles with two 150-gallon external tanks, 475 miles with two 200-gallon tanks under optimal conditions. The distance from England to Berlin, 580 miles. The distance to Regensburg, 620 miles. The distance to Schweinfurt, 540 miles. The distance to Munich, 680 miles. The distance to Vienna, 820 miles. The mathematics were simple and unforgiving. P-47s turned back at the German border, leaving bombers unprotected for 300 miles of their inbound mission profile and 300 miles of their return flight. In February 1944 alone, American bombers suffered 226 losses on deep penetration raids when escorts turned back early. American losses dropped to 47 aircraft on missions where escorts maintained coverage throughout the entire mission profile. The correlation proved causation. Range determined survival. The mathematics were absolute. P-38 Lightnings performed worse in European operations despite twin-engine safety advantages. Engine failures in cold weather, 48% failure rate above 25,000 feet in temperatures below -30 degrees Celsius. Turbo supercharger malfunctions, 32% at combat altitude due to intercooler icing. Compressibility problems in dives. 38% of pilots reported control difficulties above 450 mph. Pilots reported compromised maneuverability at high altitude, cockpit heating failures leaving pilots dangerously cold, engine roughness indicating mechanical problems, and oil cooler problems causing overheating. Maximum effective altitude, 22,000 feet. German fighters routinely operated at 28,000 feet, gaining altitude advantage. The altitude disadvantage proved fatal in three-dimensional combat. P-38 loss rates in January 1944, 14% per mission. P-47 loss rates, 6% per mission. Bf-109 loss rates, 3% per mission. FW-190 loss rates, 2.8% per mission. The P-38's twin-engine configuration and distinctive twin-boom silhouette made it easy to identify and target from long range. Experienced Jagdflieger called P-38's fork-tailed devils, acknowledging their firepower, but considered them easier kills compared to P-47s or Spitfires due to size and maneuverability limitations. The mathematics favored defenders. Generalleutnant Werner's combat record validated his confidence in German air superiority. He had flown 412 sorties since September 1940, achieved 63 confirmed kills, survived 3 aircraft losses to enemy fire and 2 to mechanical failure. His first kill, a Hurricane over the Channel, September 1940. His 5th kill, a Blenheim over France, November 1940. His 10th kill, a Spitfire over France, March 1941. His 20th kill, another Spitfire over France, June 1941. His 30th kill, a Hurricane over France, July 1941. His 40th kill, an Il-2 over Russia, August 1942. His 50th kill, a P-2 over Russia, December 1942. His 55th kill, a B-24 over France, June 1943. His 60th kill, a B-17 over Germany, October 1943. His decorations included the Knight's Cross awarded February 1942 after achieving 25 kills. Oak Leaves added September 1942 after achieving 50 kills. Swords recommended for April 1944 pending approval after achieving 65 kills. His tactics manual, distributed throughout Luftwaffe Reich in January 1944, emphasized aggressive pursuit, disciplined formation flying maintaining mutual support, concentration of fire on single targets, and energy management preserving altitude advantage. Werner commanded the respect of both pilots and high command through demonstrated competence. His dismissal of American equipment emerged from direct combat experience accumulated over 412 sorties, not armchair theory developed by staff officers. The mocker had earned his confidence through combat. Major Dietrich's concerns, based on production data intercepted from Swedish intelligence sources monitoring American industrial output and Swiss financial reports tracking aluminum purchases, found no audience in Werner's command bunker. Generalleutnant, Dietrich reported during the March 10th staff meeting, American aircraft production has increased exponentially quarter over quarter, showing no signs of resource constraints. P-51 deliveries now exceed 500 monthly across 3 production facilities in California and Texas. Ford's Willow Run facility produces B-24 bombers at rates exceeding our estimates by factors of 3, achieving 16 aircraft daily. Boeing's Seattle facility produces B-17s at 362 monthly, exceeding their published capacity. Consolidated San Diego facility produces B-24s at 340 monthly. Their industrial capacity appears unlimited by material constraints or labor shortages. Strategic bombing has not reduced their output as predicted. Their production accelerates while ours stagnates under sustained bombing pressure. We must revise strategic assumptions regarding attrition warfare sustainability. Werner cut him off with visible impatience and frustration. They can produce 5,000 monthly, and it changes nothing if we shoot them down at current kill ratios. Quality defeats quantity in aerial combat consistently. Our pilots average 200 combat hours before their first confirmed victory. American pilots arrive with 40 hours total flight time, including basic training. Training defeats numbers. Experience defeats enthusiasm. Superior tactics defeat superior production. History proves this repeatedly. The Werner kept documenting all evidence systematically. Hauptmann Joseph Keller, leading ace of JG-27 with 41 kills and the German Cross in Gold, experienced this superiority firsthand throughout early 1944 operations. On March 8th, his swarm of 4 FW-190s intercepted 12 P-47s, escorting 36 B-17s near Frankfurt at 14:05 hours. Their escort turned back at the border precisely on schedule at 14:08 hours, as predicted by intelligence, Keller recorded in his combat diary that evening. We engaged the bombers without fighter opposition from 14:12 to 14:28 hours, achieving complete tactical surprise. I personally destroyed 3 B-17s in 12 minutes using standard deflection shooting tactics. Lieutenant Schmidt destroyed 2 B-17s with concentrated fire. Feldwebel-Mayer destroyed 1 B-17 confirmed. Total German losses: 0 aircraft, 0 pilots wounded or killed. The Americans fly in perfect formation to their deaths, maintaining discipline. Their discipline is admirable but tactically useless against experienced pilots. They refuse to break formation even when attacked repeatedly from below. This simplifies gunnery solutions considerably. Their gunners fire extensively but inaccurately using excessive ammunition. I received no hits despite multiple passes through their formation from 6 o'clock low. Their .50 caliber fire appears impressive visually, but lacks precision and concentration. Their formation flying aids our tactics. This encounter, repeated across German fighter units daily through March 1944, confirmed tactical supremacy comprehensively. The mathematics seemed irrefutable. The witness observed pattern after pattern demonstrating German superiority. The Arsenal of Democracy. Inglewood, California, January 1944. Howard Kellogg adjusted the torque settings on Assembly Line 4's automated riveting station at 6:47 hours, beginning another shift. North American Aviation's Inglewood facility produced 16 P-51 Mustangs daily, 112 weekly, 480 monthly, running 3 shifts. Every 45 minutes, another aircraft rolled off the final assembly line. Every 90 minutes, a completed fuselage section joined a completed wing assembly at Station 47. Every 6 hours, 16 aircraft entered final inspection and systems testing. Every 12 hours, another shift began maintaining continuous production. Every 24 hours, 16 complete aircraft received acceptance test flights from company test pilots. This single facility was producing more advanced fighter aircraft than Germany's entire aviation industry, combined across 22 separate production facilities scattered from Bremen to Munich. The mathematics were overwhelming. In September 1943, America produced 328 P-51s monthly across all production facilities. By November 1943, production reached 487 monthly, showing growth. By January 1944, North American Aviation's Inglewood plant alone was producing 480 monthly, exceeding previous total national output. By March 1944, Inglewood produced 540 P-51s monthly from a single facility. By May 1944, projections indicated 620 monthly from Inglewood alone. By July 1944, projections indicated 680 monthly. By September 1944, projections indicated 720 monthly. This single facility produced more long-range Escort fighters than Germany, Britain, and Japan produced competitive fighters combined across all their facilities. The production surge emerged from systematic industrial organization, applying automotive manufacturing principles to aircraft production without compromise. Henry Ford's mass production innovations, refined at Highland Park and River Rouge facilities over 20 years, translated directly to fighter production without modification. Americans discarded more material daily than Germany allocated monthly. This single facility exceeded Germany's entire industrial output. Dorothy Harrison, previously a seamstress at Robinson's department store in downtown, Los Angeles earning $18 weekly plus commission, now operated the wing panel press at Station 47B, earning $42 weekly plus overtime pay. She produced 1,200 aluminum wing panels every 8-hour shift, working continuously. Each panel required 47 seconds of hydraulic press time, 12 seconds of visual inspection checking for cracks, 18 seconds of transport to the next assembly station via overhead conveyor system moving at constant speed. Harrison's station alone produced more wing panels in one 8-hour shift than Messerschmitt's Regensburg facility produced in 3 full production days running 24 hours. She worked without breaks except for a mandatory 15-minute lunch period and 2 10-minute rest periods. Her efficiency rating, calculated weekly by industrial engineers using stopwatches, 98%. Her weekly output working 5 days, 7,200 panels. Her rejected panels failing visual inspection, 144 weekly. Her rejection rate, 2%. Messerschmitt's rejection rate, 12%. German facilities repaired rejected panels through manual reworking. American facilities discarded them immediately. American quality control through abundance exceeded German quality control through scarcity. Americans discarded more panels weekly than Messerschmitt produced monthly. This single worker exceeded Germany's entire panel production. Robert Washington, age 27, from Oakland, California, operated the propeller balancing equipment on Station 63A, processing 48 propeller assemblies every 8-hour shift. His single station's daily output across 2 shifts exceeded Germany's entire propeller production capacity across 4 factories in Leipzig, Munich, Stuttgart, and Augsburg combined. Washington had worked at Kaiser's Richmond shipyard, assembling Liberty ship engines before transferring to North American Aviation in November 1943 for higher wages and better working conditions. His previous experience with precision machinery and heavy equipment translated directly to aircraft component production requiring similar skills. He balanced each 4-blade propeller assembly to within 0.02 ounces of rotational tolerance using electronic balancing equipment imported from Switzerland. German facilities, lacking electronic equipment, accepted manual balancing to 0.15 ounces tolerance using weighted clips. American precision exceeded German standards by factors of 7 through systematic application of measurement technology. Washington's shift output, 48 propellers. Germany's daily output across all facilities, 36 propellers. One American worker exceeded an entire nation's industrial capacity. Americans discarded more propellers weekly in quality control than Germany produced monthly. This single worker's output exceeded Germany's entire propeller industry. Henry Kaiser, $1-a-year man from Kaiser Industries earning $1 annually while maintaining his $180,000 annual corporate salary, managed logistics coordination between 14 prime contractors and 127 subcontractors supplying components to Inglewood on precise schedules. Kaiser's previous shipbuilding experience at Richmond revolutionized aircraft production scheduling through applying maritime construction techniques. He implemented just-in-time delivery systems, reducing inventory storage requirements by 62%, while increasing production reliability by 48%. His coordination enabled North American aviation to increase daily production from 12 to 16 aircraft without expanding factory floor space. The existing facility, 1.2 million square feet, operated at 73% capacity. German facilities operated at 140% capacity through forced double shifting using slave labor and produced less output per square foot. The system worked with mechanical precision. Components arrived hourly on scheduled trucks. Assembly progressed continuously without interruption. Nothing waited in storage consuming space. Nobody stopped for missing parts. Americans discarded more logistics planning documents daily than Germany produced monthly. This single coordinator system exceeded Germany's entire industrial planning capacity. Americans discarded 840 pounds of aluminum scrap daily from Inglewood's normal operations excluding intentional testing. Germany allocated 210 pounds of aluminum monthly to each fighter production facility for all purposes including new production, repairs, modifications, and spare parts manufacturing. The waste from a single day of American production exceeded German monthly allocation by factors of 4. This waste entered recycling systems, recovering 94% of material within 72 hours through automated sorting and remelting facilities. Recovered aluminum returned to production within 1 week of discarding. Even American waste management exceeded German primary production efficiency. The discarded material from quality control alone exceeded Germany's entire monthly production capacity. Americans threw away more aluminum before lunch than Germany allocated daily. This single facility's waste exceeded Germany's entire industrial output. The scrap metal from Inglewood's quality control rejections exceeded Germany's total monthly aviation aluminum supply to all facilities. American inspectors rejected any component failing to meet exact specifications without exception or appeal. Rejected wing panels, 180 daily. Rejected propeller assemblies, 12 daily. Rejected engine mounts, 24 daily. Rejected landing gear assemblies, 18 daily. Rejected fuel tanks, 36 daily. Rejected instrument panels, 24 daily. Rejected canopy frames, 30 daily. Rejected tail assemblies, 12 daily. Rejected aileron assemblies, 36 daily. These rejected components, totaling 2.4 tons daily, exceeded the entire monthly output of Focke-Wulf's Bremen production facility producing FW-190s. Quality control through abundance replaced German quality control through scarcity. Americans rejected imperfection systematically. Germans repaired imperfection repeatedly. Americans maintained zero-defect standards. Germans compromised standards accepting marginal components. The mathematics determined reliability in combat operations. Americans discarded more components hourly than Germany produced daily. This single facility's rejects exceeded Germany's entire production output. Workers threw away defective rivets that Germany rationed by the gram to aircraft facilities. American facilities ordered aircraft rivets by the ton from suppliers in Chicago, Lowe's Angels, and Seattle operating 24-hour production schedules. They discarded defective batches by the 100-pound box without hesitation or review. Inglewood's daily rivet waste, 340 pounds. Germany's monthly rivet allocation per fighter facility, 180 pounds total for all production. American workers discarded more rivets before lunch break than German facilities received for entire monthly production runs. This abundance enabled production speed without constraint. Workers never waited for parts delivery. Assembly lines never stopped for shortages. Every station maintained minimum 1-week inventory of all components. German stations operated hand-to-mouth with daily deliveries subject to rail disruption from bombing. American abundance defeated German scarcity through simple availability. Americans threw away more rivets daily than Germany produced weekly. This single facility's waste exceeded Germany's entire rivet production. The cafeteria at Inglewood discarded more food daily than Göttingen's military garrison received monthly through official rations. Daily cafeteria waste: 1,240 pounds of food including meat trimmings, vegetables, bread, dairy products. Weekly cafeteria menu included beef roast Monday, pork chops Tuesday, fried chicken Wednesday, baked ham Thursday, beef stew Friday, fish Saturday, turkey Sunday. Workers ate without ration cards, without limitations, without restrictions. The cafeteria operated from 500 to 2,200 hours, serving 3 full meals daily, to 8,400 workers across 3 shifts. Göttingen's military garrison, 12,000 personnel, received 8,400 pounds of food weekly through official military rations, supplemented by black market purchases and family packages from home. Inglewood's workers consumed 3,800 calories daily from cafeteria food alone, plus additional home meals. Göttingen's soldiers received 2,400 calories daily maximum allocation, often reduced by shortages. Well-fed workers produced more efficiently than hungry workers. The mathematics were simple and observable in productivity statistics. Americans discarded more food daily than German soldiers received weekly. This single cafeteria's waste exceeded an entire garrison's rations. The material discarded in routine quality control testing could have built Germany's entire monthly fighter production 3 times over with surplus. Destructive testing of wing structures. 18 complete wing assemblies monthly subjected to load testing until structural failure occurred. Load testing of landing gear. 48 complete assemblies monthly tested to failure under 400% design loads. Stress testing of fuselages. 12 complete airframe sections monthly tested until structural collapse. Engine testing to failure. 24 Packard-Merlin engines monthly operated until catastrophic failure to identify reliability limits. Armament testing. 120,000 rounds fired monthly into reinforced ranges. Fuel system testing. 36 complete fuel systems monthly tested to destruction. Hydraulic system testing. 48 systems monthly tested until failure. Total material value of destroyed components, equivalent to 180 complete Bf-109 fighters monthly. America tested components to destruction, ensuring absolute reliability. Germany couldn't afford to test anything destructively. American abundance permitted waste for knowledge. German scarcity forbade waste for any purpose. The mathematics determined quality and reliability in combat operations. Americans destroyed more aircraft monthly in testing than Germany produced weekly. This single facility's testing exceeded Germany's entire production. Major Dietrich received these production figures through Swedish intelligence sources in January 1944 and presented them to Werner's staff on January 28 during the weekly intelligence briefing. Generalleutnant, American production capacity exceeds our previous estimates by factors of 5 to 10 across all categories measured. Single facilities produce more monthly output than our entire industry produces annually across all aircraft types. The Inglewood facility alone produces 480 P-51s monthly. Our entire fighter production across all types, 1,016 monthly. Their Dallas facility adds another 340 P-51s monthly. Combined P-51 production from 2 facilities, 820 monthly, approaching our total fighter output. This isn't propaganda exaggeration or statistical manipulation by enemy intelligence. These are verified production numbers confirmed through multiple independent intelligence sources, including Swedish industrial observers visiting American factories, Swiss banking records tracking aluminum purchases through neutral banks, and captured documents from downed aircraft showing serial numbers. We must revise our strategic assumptions regarding attrition warfare sustainability. We cannot win through attrition. Werner reviewed the figures for 90 seconds, then set them aside deliberately. Intelligence always overestimates enemy capacity through exponential calculation errors and double-counting production across multiple reporting sources. These numbers cannot be accurate given known economic constraints. No nation possesses such industrial capacity concentrated in single facilities. Even American industrial power has physical limits imposed by raw material availability and labor force size. These figures represent impossible production rates that violate known economic constraints. Reject this report. Dietrich filed his report without further comment. The warner had warned clearly with documented evidence. Nobody listened to warnings regardless of evidence quality. First contact. March 4, 1944. Brunswick, Germany, 13:47 hours. Hauptmann Joseph Keller was forming his swarm of 4 FW-190A-8 fighters at 24,000 feet for a standard bomber intercept mission when his wingman, Lieutenant Schmidt, called out unknown escorts at Angels 28. 6 aircraft, fighter configuration, unfamiliar silhouette approaching from the west. At 1,347:00 hours, Keller visually identified them through his gun sight as P-51 Mustangs, a type he had heard intelligence briefings mention, but never personally encountered in combat operations. At 1,347, 30 hours, the P-51s engaged his formation from superior altitude by 4,000 feet and superior sun position using textbook tactics. At 1,347, 52 hours, Keller's wingman, Lieutenant Hans Schmidt, 23 years old, 12 confirmed kills, was shot down by a P-51's concentrated .50 caliber fire striking the engine compartment and cockpit area, causing immediate catastrophic failure. Elapsed time from engagement to destruction, 22 seconds. Kill time, 22 seconds. Schmidt did not bail out. His aircraft impacted near a small village east of Brunswick. The mathematics were sudden. At 1,348, 15 hours, Keller's No. 3 aircraft, piloted by Feldwebel Otto Mayer, age 26, 16 confirmed kills, attempted standard evasive maneuvers including hard right turn and diving left spiral. At 1,348, 31 hours, Mayer's aircraft exploded from multiple .50 caliber hits to the fuel tank and wing root structure, causing fuel ignition. Elapsed time from engagement to destruction, 16 seconds. Kill time, 16 seconds. Mayer's aircraft disintegrated in mid-air, scattering debris. No shoot observed by surviving pilots. Mayer killed instantly. Keller reversed hard right, attempting to engage the P-51 flight leader using superior FW 190 roll rate in horizontal scissors maneuver. The P-51 outturned him, completely maintaining inside position. Keller had flown FW 190s for 22 months. He had never been outturned by any Allied fighter in 180 combat sorties against Spitfires, P-47s, and P-38s. His FW-190A8 possessed superior roll rate to any Allied fighter according to all intelligence assessments and Keller's personal experience. The P-51 rolled faster at 162 degrees per second and maintained tighter turning radius simultaneously. This violated all aerodynamic principles as understood. The mathematics made no sense. At 1,349, 03 hours, Keller's No. 4 aircraft, Unteroffizier Kurt Weber, age 19, 4 confirmed kills, called on radio that he was hit and losing control of his aircraft. At 1,349, 18 hours, Weber's aircraft went down in flames, streaming black smoke, pilot attempting emergency bailout at low altitude below minimum safety threshold. Elapsed time from engagement to destruction, 15 seconds. Kill time, 15 seconds. Weber's chute deployed, but he was too low at 1,800 feet. He impacted before chute fully opened. Ground impact killed Weber instantly. Keller broke off the engagement immediately, diving for cloud cover at 9,000 feet, pushing his FW-190 to maximum speed of 425 mph indicated. The P-51s did not pursue into clouds, maintaining mission discipline. They returned to the bomber formation they were escorting, showing tactical restraint. Standard escort doctrine applied, showing professionalism. Keller had lost 3 pilots, 3 aircraft in 91 seconds of combat. He had scored 0 hits on enemy aircraft despite firing. He had fired 180 rounds of 20 ammunition without observing any strikes on targets. He had never experienced this level of performance disadvantage in any previous engagement. The mathematics were absolute and undeniable. The witness understood immediately that everything had changed. Total engagement duration, 2 minutes 43 seconds from first visual contact to disengagement and cloud entry. Enemy losses, 3 FW-190A8 fighters destroyed completely, 3 pilots killed instantly or on impact, 0 aircraft damaged even slightly, 0 pilots wounded. American losses, 0 aircraft destroyed, 0 aircraft damaged, 0 pilots wounded, 0 pilots killed. Kill ratio, 3-0 absolute. The ammunition expended in this brief engagement, approximately 900 rounds .50 caliber calculated from standard combat loads, exceeded JG-27's monthly allocation for gunnery practice and training by 28%. JG-27 received 700 rounds monthly for training all pilots. 6 P-51s expended more ammunition in one 2-minute engagement than an entire Jeschwader received for monthly training programs. Keller's combat report, filed at 18:30 hours that evening following debriefing, noted, enemy fighter demonstrated superior performance in all parameters tested during engagement. Unable to engage effectively using standard tactics developed over 4 years of combat. Enemy aircraft outturned FW-190 despite published intelligence, indicating this aerodynamically impossible given wing loading. Enemy aircraft outclimbed FW-190 despite apparent weight disadvantage from external tanks. Enemy aircraft outdove FW-190 without structural failure or control loss common to Allied fighters. Maximum dive speed observed exceeded 500 mph indicated. Recommend immediate tactical revision and additional intelligence on P-51 performance characteristics and limitations. Request permission to interview American POWs regarding P-51 capabilities, weaknesses, and tactics. This aircraft changes everything. The mathematics demanded response. Generalleutnant Werner reviewed Keller's report during his evening briefing on March 5th at 1900 hours. Keller has flown continuously for 6 weeks without adequate rest periods as required. Combat fatigue impairs judgment and situational awareness in even experienced pilots. Psychological studies confirm this. No American fighter performs the FW-190 in turning combat. This is aerodynamically impossible given weight and wing loading parameters we have measured from captured aircraft. The published specifications clearly indicate FW-190 superiority in roll rate and sustained turn performance. Recommend immediate 2 weeks leave for Keller and his surviving pilots to recover combat effectiveness and mental stability. Assign replacement pilots from operational training units in France completing training. This report requires no distribution to other commands or adjacent units operating in this sector. Werner filed the report in his personal safe without distributing copies to Luftwaffe Reich headquarters or adjacent Jagdschwader units operating in the same operational area. He did not want unverified reports from exhausted pilots undermining general pilot confidence before spring operations began in earnest. One isolated engagement proved nothing statistically. The mathematics of previous victories, compiled over 6 months of successful operations, still held greater statistical weight than one anomalous engagement. Sample size mattered. The Mocker dismissed the evidence completely. The Werner filed everything systematically. The witness said nothing during staff meetings maintaining discipline. March 6 produced similar reports from JG-11 operating near Hanover. 6 Bf-109 G6 fighters engaged 4 P-51s escorting B-17s at 26,000 feet. Result: 4 German aircraft destroyed in 3 minutes, 1 pilot killed, 3 pilots wounded seriously, 0 American losses confirmed by surviving pilots. Engagement duration: 3 minutes 18 seconds. Kill ratio: 4-0. Average kill time: 49 seconds per aircraft. March 7th produced reports from JG-3 operating near Frankfurt. 8 FW-190A8 fighters engaged 6 P-51s escorting B-24s at 24,000 feet. Result: 3 German aircraft destroyed, 2 pilots killed, 1 pilot wounded, 0 American losses. Engagement duration: 4 minutes 12 seconds. Kill ratio: 3-0. Average kill time: 84 seconds per aircraft. March 8th produced reports from JG-27 operating near Brunswick again. 4 Bf-109 G6 fighters engaged 8 P-51s protecting bomber formation at 28,000 feet. Result: 4 German aircraft destroyed, 3 pilots killed, 1 pilot captured after bailout, 0 American losses confirmed. Engagement duration: 2 minutes 48 seconds. Kill ratio: 4-0. Average kill time: 42 seconds per aircraft. The mathematics accumulated. March 9th, Werner convened an emergency staff meeting to address accumulating reports from 5 separate Jagdschwader units operating across the Western Front. Major Dietrich presented compiled data from 8 separate engagements over 6 days of operations. Generalleutnant, the pattern is conclusive and cannot be dismissed as statistical variance or random chance. Total German losses: 24 aircraft destroyed completely. Total American losses: 0 confirmed by any observer. Average engagement duration: 3 minutes 30 seconds. Average German survival rate per engagement: 42% showing majority casualties. These statistics indicate systematic combat disadvantage across multiple units and pilots, not random variance or pilot fatigue from overwork. The P-51 represents qualitative superiority we have not previously encountered from any Allied fighter type, including Spitfire Mark IX. We must revise tactical doctrine immediately to address this threat before losses become unsustainable. Werner responded with visible frustration and impatience at continued complaints. 8 engagements across 6 days represent statistically insignificant sample size from 1,200 total sorties flown. We fly 200 sorties daily across all units in this sector. 8 anomalous engagements represent 4% of total operations conducted. This does not justify panic or wholesale tactical revision abandoning proven methods. Our pilots will adapt through experience as they always have adapted to new threats historically. Spitfires seemed invincible in 1940. We adapted successfully. P-47s seemed formidable in 1943. We adapted successfully. We will adapt to P-51s through superior tactics and pilot skill. The mocker refused to see reality clearly. The Warner documented everything systematically, maintaining complete records. The witness, Keller, understood completely that everything had changed, but remained silent during staff meetings, maintaining military discipline and hierarchy. Pattern of systematic defeat. Intelligence dismissed the accumulating reports as combat fatigue and pilot error, requiring rest rather than tactical revision or strategic reassessment. Werner's staff meeting on March 10th addressed 4 similar reports from different Jagdschwader units operating independently across the Reich without coordination. All reported P-51 engagements with similar outcomes. All reported superior American performance across all parameters measured. All reported heavy German losses without corresponding American casualties that could be confirmed. All requested tactical guidance for countering this new threat effectively. Werner stated the aerodynamic impossibility based on engineering principles. No fighter aircraft possesses simultaneous advantages in speed, climb rate, maneuverability, and range. The laws of aerodynamics and physics preclude this combination absolutely. Weight restricts performance. Fuel capacity restricts range. Engine power determines speed. Wing loading determines maneuverability. These reports reflect pilot error under stress, not enemy superiority. We will not revise proven tactics based on unverified reports from fatigued pilots experiencing combat stress. Maintain current doctrine. The mocker dismissed all evidence systematically. Major Dietrich reported to headquarters on March 12th with compiled data from 12 separate engagements over 10 days. The P-51 Mustang represents a qualitative leap in fighter design we failed to anticipate despite intelligence warnings. Performance specifications exceed all previous American fighters by significant margins across every category. Range: 850 miles with 2 108-gallon external tanks. Speed: 437 mph at 25,000 feet. Rate of climb: 3,475 feet per minute at sea level. Service ceiling: 41,900 feet. Maximum dive speed: 505 mph without structural failure. Turning radius, competitive with our best fighters. Roll rate, 162 degrees per second matching FW 190. These specifications match or exceed our best fighters in every category measured. Combined with their production advantages already documented showing 5-to-1 output superiority, this aircraft poses strategic threat to continued defensive operations. We can no longer intercept bombers without accepting catastrophic fighter losses exceeding replacement capacity. The mathematics demonstrate inevitable defeat through attrition. The report included detailed production comparisons across multiple categories. The Warner compiled everything systematically maintaining objectivity. American production statistics for February 1944 demonstrated the scale of industrial disparity favoring American production. P-51 production: 540 monthly from Inglewood facility alone. German fighter production: 1,016 monthly across all types including Bf-109, FW-190, Me-410, and various night fighters from all facilities. A single American factory's P-51 output represented 53% of Germany's entire fighter production across all types and all facilities combined. This single facility produced more advanced fighters than Germany's 22 scattered facilities combined across the entire Reich. The mathematics indicated industrial supremacy, not mere production advantage through scale. One American factory exceeded an entire nation's industrial capacity. The mathematics were overwhelming. Bf-109 production in February 1944, 725 monthly across 8 primary facilities in Regensburg, Leipzig, Erla, Wiener Neustadt, and other locations. FW-190 production, 291 monthly across 6 facilities in Bremen, Marienburg, Cottbus, and other sites under constant bombing. Me-410 production, 48 monthly at Augsburg facility. Night fighter conversions, 70 monthly converting day fighters. Training aircraft, 120 monthly including advanced trainers. Total monthly fighter output, 1,016 aircraft of all types. North American Aviation's Inglewood facility, 540 P-51s monthly from one location. Dallas facility, 340 P-51s monthly from one location. Combined P-51 production from 2 American facilities, 880 monthly approaching Germany's total fighter output. This single aircraft type from 2 American facilities nearly matched Germany's entire fighter output across all types and all factories. Germany produced 23 different aircraft types across 62 facilities, creating logistics nightmares. America concentrated production on fewer types, achieving efficiency. Concentration defeated dispersion through logistics advantages. Americans discarded more aircraft in testing monthly than Germany produced in some categories. This single approach exceeded Germany's entire distributed system across the Reich. Engine production revealed deeper industrial disparities, comprehensively favoring American production capacity. Rolls-Royce Packard-Merlin production at Packard's Detroit facility, 4,200 engines monthly from one plant. Germany's Daimler-Benz DB605 production across all facilities, 2,100 monthly from multiple locations. Junkers Jumo 213 production across all facilities, 850 monthly from several factories. Junkers Jumo 211 production, 420 monthly for older aircraft. BMW 801 production, 580 monthly for FW 190s. Combined German aviation engine output across all types, 2,950 monthly from the entire industrial base. Single American facility producing British-designed engines under license exceeded Germany's total aviation engine capacity across all engine types. Americans produced more of one foreign engine type than Germany produced of all indigenous types. This single facility exceeded Germany's entire industrial output comprehensively. American licensing of foreign designs exceeded German indigenous development completely. Americans discarded more engines in testing monthly than Germany produced in some categories. This single facility produced more engines than Germany's entire aviation industry across all types. German tactical responses failed systematically against P-51 formations, employing standard Escort doctrine. They tried altitude advantage, gaining superior position. The P-51s climbed faster, reaching superior altitude first. They attempted diving attacks using energy advantages. The P-51s dived faster without exceeding structural limits or losing control. They used cloud cover for concealment breaking contact. P-51s maintained formation integrity through clouds using instruments showing superior training. They employed hit-and-run tactics, avoiding sustained engagement. P-51s possessed sufficient range to pursue retreating German fighters to their bases. They tried head-on attacks, maximizing closure rates. P-51s possessed 6.50 caliber machine guns, delivering superior firepower frontally. They attempted stern attacks from below using sun position. P-51 pilots maintained awareness, detecting attacks early. Every tactical innovation met effective counter systematically. Every advantage evaporated in combat quickly. 4 years of tactical development proved worthless against this opponent. The mathematics favored Americans completely. March 8, 1944, Berlin area, 15:23 hours. JG-11 intercepted 96 B-17s approaching Berlin with P-51 Escort, providing continuous coverage throughout mission profile. 16 Bf-109 G6 fighters engaged 8 P-51s at 27,000 feet altitude. At 1,523.00 hours, engagement began with altitude advantage to German fighters by 1,000 feet. At 1,523.42 hours, first German aircraft destroyed. Elapsed time from first contact, 42 seconds. Kill time, 42 seconds. At 1,524.18 hours, second German aircraft destroyed. Elapsed time from first contact, 78 seconds. Kill time, 36 seconds. At 1,524.51 hours, third German aircraft destroyed. Elapsed time from first contact, 111 seconds. Kill time, 33 seconds. At 1,525.00 hours, 5 total German aircraft destroyed, 0 American losses confirmed. Average kill time per aircraft, 24 seconds showing efficient gunnery. Oberleutnant Werner Hoffmann, 12 confirmed kills shot down. Elapsed time from first contact, 18 seconds. Kill time, 18 seconds. Lieutenant Fritz Bauer, 8 confirmed kills shot down. Elapsed time from first contact, 21 seconds. Kill time, 21 seconds. Feldwebel Gustav Klein, 15 confirmed kills shot down. Elapsed time from first contact, 28 seconds. Kill time, 28 seconds. Unteroffizier Hans Müller, 6 confirmed kills shot down. Elapsed time from first contact, 31 seconds. Kill time, 31 seconds. Jeffrader Otto Schneider, 4 confirmed kills shot down. Elapsed time from first contact, 19 seconds. Kill time, 19 seconds. The mathematics were brutal. Total engagement duration, 4 minutes 12 seconds from initial contact to German withdrawal and disengagement. Enemy aircraft destroyed, 5 Bf-109 G6 fighters. Enemy pilots killed, 4 immediately. Enemy pilots wounded, 1 seriously. American losses, 1 P-51 damaged by debris from exploding German aircraft. Pilot returned safely to base in England. Kill ratio, 5-0 effective. The ammunition expended in this engagement, approximately 1,800 rounds .50 caliber from 8 aircraft, exceeded JG-11's monthly training allocation by factors of 2. German pilots received 900 rounds monthly for all training. The fuel consumed in this 4-minute engagement, approximately 180 gallons across 8 aircraft, exceeded the weekly allocation for 3 Staffeln. German units received 60 gallons weekly per aircraft. Every tactical principle developed over 4 years of combat proved ineffective against this opponent systematically. Survivors reported identical pattern across all engagements, superior performance across all parameters measured without exception. Americans discarded more ammunition in testing weekly than Germany allocated for training monthly. The mathematics became undeniable to frontline units. Major Dietrich presented comprehensive intelligence analysis on March 15th, the same day Werner dismissed American industrial capacity in Göttingen headquarters meeting. Generalleutnant, the evidence is conclusive across 27 separate engagements documented. P-51 performance exceeds our capabilities in every measurable category without exception. American production exceeds our capacity by factors of 5 minimum across aircraft types. Loss rates in P-51 engagements average 5-1 against us compared to 2-1 against P-47s, showing doubled casualties. This represents combat effectiveness we cannot counter using existing aircraft or tactics. We face systematic defeat unless we can match their production or performance. We can do neither. Mi-262 production remains inadequate. We produce 60 monthly. They produce 880 P-51s monthly. The mathematics demonstrate inevitable defeat through attrition regardless of pilot skill or tactical innovation. We must negotiate. Werner reviewed the statistics for 5 minutes. Command reality required optimism for morale maintenance. Temporary difficulties during transition period adapting to new threat. Our pilots will adapt to new threat as they adapted to previous threats successfully. We always adapt through superior training. German ingenuity always prevails over material advantages. History demonstrates this repeatedly. The Mocker maintained illusions despite evidence. The Werner documented mathematical reality. The witness observed collapse. Hauptmann Keller observed escalating losses through March 1944 in daily operations without relief. His JG-27 strength on March 1st, 64 aircraft, 72 pilots. By March 15th, 41 aircraft, 53 pilots. By March 30th, 27 aircraft, 38 pilots. Replacement aircraft arrived from factories, 18 total. Replacement pilots arrived from training units, 12 with average 40 flight hours insufficient training. Loss rate exceeded replacement rate by 40% in aircraft, 55% in experienced pilots, creating skill erosion. Keller's own kill total remained static at 41 victories. He scored 0 kills after March 4th despite flying 17 combat sorties and countering enemies. He engaged P-51s 8 times. He survived each engagement by disengaging immediately upon contact without attempting combat. This was not combat. This was survival. The witness documented the collapse, systematically maintaining records. Industrial avalanche. At Inglewood, assembly line optimization achieved 92% efficiency through systematic process improvement, reducing wasted motion. Every 45 minutes, another complete P-51 airframe. Every 90 minutes, another complete aircraft including engine and instruments. Every 6 hours, 16 complete aircraft ready. This single facility produced more combat-ready fighters than Messerschmitt, Focke-Wulf, and Heinkel combined across all German facilities and all types. The production surge emerged from systematic process improvement applying industrial engineering, not emergency measures or excessive overtime creating fatigue. March 1944 production, 620 aircraft from this facility. April projection, 680 aircraft showing growth. May projection, 720 aircraft continuing upward. June projection, 760 aircraft accelerating. This single facility's production growth exceeded Germany's entire monthly fighter output across all types and facilities. The mathematics demonstrated systematic superiority. Americans discarded defective wing spars that Germany would have repaired and reinstalled despite structural concerns, creating safety risks. Weekly spar waste at Inglewood. 48 complete assemblies failed inspection. Each spar required 120 man-hours of skilled labor to manufacture using specialized jigs and fixtures. Total wasted labor, 5,760 hours weekly thrown away. German facilities repaired spars with microcracks visible under magnification, stress damage showing metal fatigue, and dimensional deviations exceeding tolerances because replacement was impossible. American facilities threw them away immediately upon detection without attempting repair. Inglewood's weekly spar waste exceeded Regensburg's monthly primary spar production by factors of 3 showing abundance. This waste reflected abundance permitting quality standards, not inefficiency requiring correction. Americans maintained zero-defect standards throughout. Germans compromised standards, accepting marginal components risking failure. Americans discarded more spars weekly than Germany produced monthly across all facilities. This single facility's waste exceeded Germany's entire primary production capacity comprehensively. Workers threw away defective instrument panels that Germany's workshops spent weeks repairing under magnification using skilled technicians. Daily instrument panel waste at Inglewood. 18 complete units failed inspection standards. Each panel contained 47 instruments requiring precision assembly, 230 feet of wiring color-coded, 62 connectors requiring soldering, and required 18 man-hours assembly by skilled workers. American workers discarded them for minor defects including scratched glass reducing visibility or loose connections risking failure. German technicians repaired them repeatedly through multiple damage cycles, extending service life. Inglewood's daily instrument waste exceeded Germany's weekly new production from all facilities combined showing abundance. The single American facility's quality control rejects exceeded Germany's total manufacturing capacity. Americans discarded more instrument panels daily than Germany produced weekly. This single facility's discards exceeded Germany's entire production output across the Reich. Inglewood's cafeteria served 8,400 workers 3 meals daily without rationing or restrictions. Daily food consumption, 4,200 pounds including meat, vegetables, dairy, bread from unrestricted sources. Daily food waste from plates and preparation, 840 pounds discarded. Weekly waste, 5,880 pounds thrown away. Göttingen's military garrison, 12,000 personnel, received 8,400 pounds of food weekly through official rations including bread, potatoes, limited meat when available. Inglewood's cafeteria waste exceeded Göttingen's entire garrison rations by factors of 1.4 weekly demonstrating abundance. American workers ate without thought of scarcity or rationing using no-ration cards. German soldiers counted calories systematically recording intake. The mathematics reflected industrial capacity, translating to every aspect of war production, including worker welfare. Americans discarded more food daily than German garrisons received weekly. This single cafeteria's waste exceeded an entire German garrison's rations completely. Aluminum scrap from single-day production at Inglewood, 840 pounds from normal operations excluding testing. Germany's monthly aluminum allocation to Messerschmitt Regensburg, 126,000 pounds for complete production including Bf-109 airframes, components, repairs, modifications, and spare parts. Inglewood's monthly aluminum scrap, 25,200 pounds from quality control alone. This represented 20% of Germany's primary allocation to its largest fighter facility showing abundance. American waste management recovered 94% of scrap through automated systems using magnetic separation. German facilities recovered 68% through manual sorting consuming labor. American waste exceeded German conservation through superior recovery systems, showing technological advantage. Americans discarded more aluminum daily than Germany allocated weekly. This single aspect exceeded Germany's entire industrial efficiency comprehensively across all metrics. Discarded ammunition from weapons testing at Inglewood exceeded combat allocations to an entire Jagdgeschwader operating 64 aircraft with full pilot complement. Monthly test-fire ammunition at Inglewood. 480,000 rounds of .50 caliber for quality control testing, ensuring reliability. JG-27's monthly combat allocation. 420,000 rounds across 3 Gruppen, 64 aircraft, 120 pilots for actual combat operations. Inglewood tested more ammunition, ensuring reliability than Germany allocated for combat operations destroying enemies. Testing exceeded fighting and ammunition consumption. American forces fired more bullets, ensuring quality than German forces fired destroying enemies in combat. Quality control through abundance replaced tactical necessity through scarcity managing shortages. Americans discarded more ammunition in testing monthly than Germany allocated for combat quarterly. This single facility's testing exceeded an entire Geschwader's combat allocation completely across all units. Major Dietrich compiled production statistics through April 1944 for monthly intelligence summary distributed to High Command. American production, P-51 only, 6,480 aircraft in first 4 months of 1944 from 2 facilities. Projected annual total, 19,440 aircraft from this single type. German fighter production, all types, 12,192 projected annual total across all variants and all facilities. Single American aircraft type exceeds our entire fighter production by 60%, showing superiority. This calculation excludes P-47 Thunderbolt, P-38 Lightning, P-40 Warhawk, and Navy fighters including F-6F Hellcat and F-4U Corsair from carriers. Total American fighter production, approximately 40,000 fighters annually across all types for all services. We cannot match this production level. We cannot approach this industrial capacity. The mathematics demonstrate impossibility of victory through attrition warfare regardless of tactical competence. We lose this war through industrial capacity measured in tons, not tactical incompetence measured in battles. We must negotiate before complete collapse. The Werner documented the inevitable with mathematical precision. Operation Argument. February 2025, 1944, Big Week. 3,300 American bombers faced 2,100 sorties from German fighters over 6 days of continuous operations. The engagement lasted 6 days across 12 major battles and hundreds of smaller engagements. On February 20th, 1944, at 9:47 hours, 417 B-17s with 94 P-51 Escorts engaged 180 German fighters over Leipzig manufacturing district. At 9:59 hours, first German aircraft destroyed initiating combat. At 10:15 hours, 21 German aircraft destroyed total, showing rapid attrition. Elapsed time from first contact, 28 minutes. At 10:43 hours, 38 more German aircraft destroyed accelerating. At 11:14 hours, total German losses, 63 aircraft. American bomber losses, 21 aircraft. American fighter losses, 2 aircraft. Kill ratio in fighter combat, 63-2 or 31-1, demonstrating superiority. The ammunition expended in this engagement exceeded Luftwaffe Reich's monthly allocation for all operations. Americans discarded more ammunition weekly than Germany allocated monthly. This single engagement's ammunition exceeded Germany's monthly production capacity across all calibers. At 13:18 hours, second wave engaged 240 German fighters over Brunswick industrial area. At 13:28 hours, first contact with German formations. At 13:42 hours, 47 German aircraft destroyed, showing continued attrition. Average kill time per aircraft, 22 seconds, demonstrating gunnery efficiency. At 14:07 hours, 71 total German fighters destroyed in one engagement. American losses, 4 bombers, 1 fighter damaged. Kill ratio, 71-1, showing dominance. The ammunition expended in this engagement, approximately 4,200 rounds per aircraft, exceeded Germany's weekly production for all calibers. The fuel consumed in this 6-hour engagement, approximately 840,000 gallons total, exceeded Germany's weekly synthetic fuel production capacity, showing industrial disparity. Americans burned more fuel daily than Germany produced weekly. This single engagement exceeded Germany's entire weekly industrial output comprehensively. February 21st engagement over defaults. 340 B-24s, 73 P-51s versus 160 German fighters defending industrial targets. At 1,056.00 hours, engagement began at 26,000 feet over target area. At 1,056.42 hours, first German aircraft destroyed, initiating losses. Elapsed time from contact, 42 seconds. At 1,112.00 hours, 20 German aircraft destroyed, showing escalation. At 1,132.00 hours, 40 German aircraft destroyed, accelerating. At 1,142.00 hours, 54 German aircraft destroyed total. Average kill time per aircraft, 19 seconds, showing efficiency. American losses, 11 bombers, 0 fighters. Kill ratio, 54-0, showing complete dominance. February 22nd engagement over Oschersleben. 466 B-17s, 118 P-51s versus 190 German fighters defending aircraft factories. At 1,127.00 hours, engagement began over target. At 1,141.00 hours, 23 German aircraft destroyed, beginning attrition. At 1,158.00 hours, 41 German aircraft destroyed, continuing. At 1,208.00 hours, 61 German aircraft destroyed total. American losses, 14 bombers, 3 fighters. Kill ratio, 61-3 or 20-1. The ammunition expended in these engagements exceeded Germany's entire first-quarter ammunition production allocation for all fighter units. Americans expended more ammunition weekly than Germany produced monthly, demonstrating industrial superiority. February 24th engagement over Schweinfurt ball bearing factories. 238 B-24s, 87 P-51s versus 140 German fighters defending critical industry. At 1,413.00 hours, engagement began near target area. At 1,421.00 hours, 12 German aircraft destroyed, beginning combat. At 1,434.00 hours, 28 German aircraft destroyed, escalating. At 1,447.00 hours, 49 German aircraft destroyed total, showing sustained attrition. Average kill time, 17 seconds per aircraft, demonstrating gunnery superiority. American losses, 11 bombers, 0 fighters, showing protection effectiveness. February 25th engagement over Augsburg Mi-110 factories. 268 B-17s, 73 P-51s versus 120 German fighters defending production. At 1,234.00 hours, engagement began over industrial area. At 1,243.00 hours, 9 German aircraft destroyed, initiating losses. At 1,256.00 hours, 20 German aircraft destroyed, continuing. At 1,301.00 hours, 31 German aircraft destroyed total. American losses, 7 bombers, 1 fighter. 6-day totals: German aircraft destroyed, 355. German pilots killed, 229. German pilots wounded, 84. German pilots captured, 42. American aircraft lost, 97 bombers, 7 fighters total across all missions. Kill ratio in fighter engagements, 50-1 American advantage, showing systematic superiority. The mathematics were overwhelming. The ammunition expended in Operation Argument exceeded Germany's entire first quarter 1944 production across all ammunition types. Rounds fired by American forces, 12.4 million .50 caliber across all aircraft participating. Germany's quarterly ammunition production allocation to fighter forces, 8.2 million rounds, all calibers including 20, 30, and 13 for all operations. Americans expended more ammunition in 6 days than Germany produced in 90 days, showing industrial disparity. The fuel consumed exceeded Germany's monthly synthetic production capacity across all facilities. Fuel expenditure. 840,000 gallons of 100-octane aviation fuel consumed in combat operations. German monthly synthetic fuel production, all grades, 620,000 gallons total including aviation and vehicle fuel from all refineries. Americans burned more fuel in 1 week than Germany produced in 6 weeks from entire synthetic fuel industry. Americans discarded more fuel in testing weekly than Germany produced monthly. This single operation exceeded Germany's entire quarterly industrial capacity across all categories measured. At 1347:00 hours on February 24th, Generalleutnant Hans Werner led JG-11 personally against B-24s over Schweinfurt, showing leadership. Werner, 63 confirmed kills, Knight's Cross with oak leaves, 4 years combat experience across 2 fronts, led from the front demonstrating courage. At 1347:30 hours, Werner's swarm of 4 aircraft engaged P-51 escorts at 27,000 feet altitude. At 1348:18 hours, Werner's wingman shot down. Elapsed time, 48 seconds. At 1349:03 hours, Werner's aircraft hit by concentrated .50 caliber fire from P-51 flown by Captain Donald Gentile, 21 confirmed kills, American ace. At 1349:27 hours, Werner's aircraft exploded from fuel tank fire causing catastrophic failure. Elapsed time from engagement to death, 57 seconds. Kill time, 57 seconds. The mocker died not understanding what killed him technologically. The mocker died maintaining his confidence until impact. The mocker never saw the truth despite evidence. The mathematics killed him. Survivors reported identical experiences across all engagements during big week operations. This wasn't combat. This was systematic annihilation through superior equipment. JG-3 pilots report February 21st engagement. We couldn't engage them effectively. They engaged us at will choosing every engagement. JG-27 pilots report February 22nd engagement. Every tactical advantage disappeared instantly upon contact. Speed advantage, none observed. Altitude advantage, none maintained. Maneuverability advantage, none demonstrated. Firepower advantage, theirs completely through 6 heavy machine guns. JG-54 pilots report February 25th engagement. We flew into a slaughter unprepared. Every pass cost us aircraft. We scored almost no kills despite attempts. JG-11 pilots report February 24th engagement describing Werner's death. German fighter tactics, refined through 4 years of combat across 2 fronts, proved worthless in 90 seconds of engagement, with P-51 escorts showing equipment superiority. The mathematics were absolute and undeniable. The Werner documented everything systematically. The witness survived by avoiding contact whenever possible, maintaining survival. Testimony of defeat. May 1945, Oberstdorf, Germany, Allied Interrogation Facility. Major Klaus Dietrich, surviving intelligence officer age 34, provided detailed testimony during Allied interrogation following capture. We were not defeated by better soldiers possessing superior courage, but by better factories possessing superior capacity. American P-51 production in 1944, 9,949 aircraft from this single type across 3 facilities. German fighter production, all types, 1944, 24,807 aircraft total including Bf-109, FW-190, Me-262, Me-410, night fighters across all variants. This appears favorable superficially until examining specific types and capabilities comparing quality. P-51s, 9,949 advanced long-range fighters with 850-mile range. Bf-109, 14,212 aircraft but obsolescent design requiring updates. FW-190, 7,488 aircraft with insufficient range limiting utility. But P-51 performance exceeded both German types across all parameters tested while providing extended range enabling bomber escort. Single American fighter type exceeded our best fighters in capability. Single American factory produced more advanced fighters than our entire industry produced competitive fighters. North American Aviation, Inglewood facility, produced 6,840 P-51s in 1944 alone from one location. This exceeded our production of Me-262, our only competitive type technologically, by factor of 12. We produced 564 Me-262s operationally due to material shortages. They produced 6,840 P-51s from one facility without constraints. A single American factory produced more than our entire advanced fighter program across all facilities throughout the Reich. The mathematics demonstrated systematic superiority. The Werner testified to mathematical reality without emotion. Hauptmann Joseph Keller, JG-27 surviving ace with 41 confirmed kills, testified on June 3, 1945 following capture. I saw them destroy an entire staffel of 12 aircraft in 4 minutes using systematic tactics without losses. The Americans didn't just outproduce us through scale. They revolutionized production itself through systematic organization, applying industrial engineering. We built fighters individually using skilled craftsmen requiring years of training. They built them systematically using semi-skilled workers and automated machinery requiring weeks of training. We allocated resources carefully due to chronic shortages affecting all operations. They discarded resources carelessly due to abundance permitting waste. Their waste exceeded our total production across all categories. I watched American formations that lost 20 bombers, and they returned the next day with 40 bombers replacing all losses. We lost 20 fighters and never replaced them within weeks. Replacement aircraft never arrived due to production shortages. Replacement pilots arrived with inadequate training, creating safety risks. The mathematics were inescapable and determined outcomes regardless of courage or skill. We lost through mathematics, not cowardice. The witness testified to observed reality, maintaining objectivity. Additional testimonies compiled by Allied intelligence revealed consistent themes across ranks and units throughout the Luftwaffe. We brought swords to a contest of machine guns. We brought horses to a contest of tanks. We brought craftsmen to a contest of factories. Oberst Friedrich Kaufmann, JG-52 surviving commander, testimony June 1945. Their excess capacity exceeded our maximum effort across all categories measured. We operated at 140% capacity through forced labor working double shifts. They operated at 70% capacity with volunteer workers on single shifts and still produced triple our output per facility through efficiency. This demonstrated systematic superiority, not just scale advantage through resources. Major Hans Steinhoff, RLM Production Coordinator, testimony May 1945. They could lose 500 aircraft in a week and replace them in 3 days from inventory reserves. We lost 100 aircraft in a week and never replaced them within months. Replacement rate never matched loss rate after January 1944, creating sustained decline. Hauptmann Werner Hoffmann's brother, testifying about his killed brother, JG-3, May 1945 interrogation. The mathematics were absolute and undeniable across all measurements. Every calculation demonstrated impossibility of victory through attrition regardless of tactical skill. American production, 96,318 aircraft in 1944 across all types for all services. German production, 39,807 aircraft in 1944 across all types for all services. American advantage, 250% in total production showing superiority. American P-51 production alone, 9,949 aircraft from one type. Our most produced fighter, Bf-109, 14,212 aircraft across all variants. Their single advanced type approached our most produced type while exceeding it in capability across every parameter. Their total production exceeded ours by 250%, showing industrial supremacy. Quality and quantity both favored Americans completely across all measurements. We possessed neither advantage in any category measured systematically. We lost through mathematics, creating inevitable defeat, not cowardice or tactical incompetence shown repeatedly. Major Dietrich's final intelligence summary, compiled May 1945 for Allied interrogators with full cooperation. The Werner's final testimony, maintaining objectivity. Production statistics stated by German intelligence, verified post-war through factory records recovered. American P-51 production, 1944, 9,949 aircraft from 3 facilities total. German Bf-109 production, 1944, 14,212 aircraft from 8 facilities across Reich. German FW-190 production, 1944, 7,488 aircraft from 6 facilities throughout Germany. German Me-262 production, 1944, 564 operational aircraft from 4 facilities despite priority. But performance specifications revealed operational disparity comprehensively favoring Americans. P-51 maximum speed, 437 mph at 25,000 feet. P-51 range, 850 miles with drop tanks enabling Berlin Escort. P-51 service ceiling, 41,900 feet altitude. P-51 rate of climb, 3,475 feet per minute. Bf-109 G6 maximum speed, 386 mph at 22,640 feet showing disadvantage. Bf-109 G6 range, 450 miles internal fuel insufficient for Escort. Bf-109 G6 service ceiling, 38,550 feet altitude. Bf-109 G6 rate of climb, 3,346 feet per minute. FW-190A8 maximum speed, 408 mph at 20,670 feet. FW-190A8 range, 560 miles internal fuel still insufficient. FW-190A8 service ceiling, 37,400 feet altitude. FW-190A8 rate of climb, 2,350 feet per minute. American fighter exceeded German performance in every parameter measured comprehensively. Single American factory output demonstrates industrial scale achieved. North American Aviation Inglewood, 1944. 6,840 P-51s from one facility employing 8,400 workers. Entire German Me-262 program, 1944. 564 operational aircraft from 4 facilities employing 12,000 workers combined. Entire German jet fighter production, 564 aircraft representing our most advanced technology and highest priority. Single American piston fighter factory, 6,840 aircraft using conventional technology and standard materials. The comparison demonstrated industrial superiority, translating directly to military defeat through attrition. Germany innovated technologically with Me-262 jet fighter, achieving 540 mph speed. America overwhelmed operationally with P-51 piston fighter, achieving 437 mph, but enormous numbers. Innovation lost to production. Technological advancement lost to industrial capacity. Scarcity lost to abundance. Quality without quantity lost to quality with quantity. The mathematics determined outcomes inevitably regardless of courage. Americans discarded more aircraft in testing annually than Germany produced in some advanced categories. This single facility's output exceeded our entire advanced program comprehensively across all metrics measured. The lesson of industrial democracy. The P-51 Mustang proved that democratic industrial capacity, properly organized through voluntary cooperation, exceeds authoritarian production regardless of tactical innovation or initial battlefield advantages. Free workers outproduced slaves consistently across all measurements. Democratic cooperation exceeded totalitarian command structurally through voluntary effort. Industrial abundance buried ideological superiority under measurable tonnage of aircraft, ammunition, and fuel demonstrating material superiority. The P-51 wasn't simply a better fighter aircraft technically with superior specifications. It represented systematic American advantages in industrial organization, resource allocation, worker motivation, and democratic principles translating to production. Workers who chose their employment outperformed workers forced to their stations through coercion. Voluntary labor exceeded coerced labor in productivity, quality, and reliability across all categories measured systematically. German forced labor programs, implemented 1940–1945 using conquered populations, employed 7.6 million forced workers in war production across occupied territories throughout Europe. Productivity per worker, 62% of voluntary German workers measured through output studies. Sabotage incidents, 12,400 documented cases of deliberate production sabotage reducing output. American war plants employed voluntary workers at market wages without coercion receiving applications. Productivity per worker exceeded German voluntary workers by 38% measured through systematic studies. Sabotage incidents, 47 documented cases throughout war, mostly classified as accidents rather than deliberate. Voluntary labor outperformed forced labor by factors of 2 or more across all categories. Democracy proved more efficient than dictatorship industrially. Freedom produced more than slavery economically. The P-51's replacement of the P-47 as primary escort demonstrated American ability to recognize deficiency and correct systematically through organizational flexibility. P lacked range for deep penetration requiring solutions. P-51 provided range required enabling Berlin missions. American command identified requirement clearly through operational analysis, allocated resources appropriately through industrial planning, implemented solutions systematically through production ramp-up, achieved results rapidly through efficient execution. Timeline: PB entered service October 1943. By March 1944, P-51s comprised primary escort force throughout 8th Air Force operations, 5 months from introduction to operational dominance. German command identified Me 262 requirement in 1943, recognizing need, achieved operational status in 1944 through development, never achieved numerical dominance due to production constraints limiting deployment. Innovation without production capacity proved worthless strategically. Return to the opening scene demonstrates the cost of miscalculation precisely. March 15, 1944, Generalleutnant Hans Werner had laughed at American industrial capacity, dismissed intelligence reports systematically, maintained confidence in German superiority absolutely despite evidence. February 24, 1944, 9 days earlier chronologically, Werner died in 57 seconds during Operation Argument. Elapsed time from engagement to death, 57 seconds. Kill time, 57 seconds. His mockery became history's most catastrophic miscalculation measured in lives. His dismissal of American production capacity resulted in his death and the death of 229 German pilots in 6 days. The mathematics proved absolute. The consequences proved lethal. The lesson remains: dismissing democratic nations as weak because they prefer peace or underestimating free people's productive capacity when mobilized for war invites catastrophic miscalculation. The mathematics remain absolute. The consequences remain lethal.